Let's
go.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, man. All right. Week 1 is officially starting. We had week 0. It wasn't enough for me. Week 1 is here. We're going to make some bets. We're going to do a couple picks. We're going to win some money.
Hey,
Excited.
I'll just let you know, Dawson, I got started early. Utah over Florida. Easy money. Florida is terrible this year. I'm so excited to see that.
That's funny. I also hit that. I heard some people talking about how, Utah has the backup quarterback. Florida has a bad offense. They had to stay in Texas or whatever with the hurricane. So I took the under on total points.
Oh, nice.
Also pretty easily.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Always good to start with some wins.
It's fun. It's funny, especially betting the under, because it's you're hoping for turnovers or missed field goals. It's such a weird way to watch a game, It's
if you know your stuff, man. I was on the under on Nebraska and Minnesota.
Yeah,
love to see it.
A good one.
You love to see it 3-0 at halftime. You're like, yeah, that's the best feeling in the world.
Big 10, baby. Yeah.
Under 40. Oh, and those lower over unders. We'll talk about it later in the show, but the lower over unders, especially Big 10, are there's some trends there. So
yeah. Definitely.
I made some money there. So that's always nice.
And especially there's been the new rule changes.
Yes.
So that should help unders until they adjust,
Absolutely. I mean, I think that Vegas is going to play into people expecting the higher totals without knowing the rule changes. And they, they're going to take advantage there on those especially those higher totals.
Yep. And I think we talked about this when we did NBA predictions, saying I think emotionally people would rather take an over than an under because it's more fun to cheer for points to get scored than it is for points not to be scored. Of
course. Yeah. I mean, emotionally, you're definitely going to take an over.
Yeah.
For sure. So it's yeah. So we can have some fun. I mean, I think we're going to win.
Yeah.
Unders, maybe.
Yeah, we might, a little teaser.
Hey man, I'm trying to win. I'm not trying. I'm trying to make money. So if that's what it is.
So let's say, the new rule changes, right? It's no more. The clock now does not stop anymore after first downs until 2 minutes. And then something at the end of the first and third quarter, if there's a dead ball play, they just make the play at the beginning of the next quarter. And there was one more I can't remember now.
We're going to learn it well tomorrow. I just watched that first game, was picking it up a little bit, but you can definitely tell it's going to reduce.
The announcers were talking about it. Yeah. Oh, here we go. A team cannot call consecutive timeouts, which I'm down with that. You don't have 3 timeouts in a row to ice the kicker. That feels annoying. That's like at college basketball at the end of the game when they're calling timeouts every 5 seconds and the last 30 seconds takes 20 minutes. It makes the game not as fun.
Man, they're trying to make it quicker game, and that doesn't necessarily mean more points. So
exactly. I think that's a good change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll see. But either way, maybe that'll make for more unders to hit. Maybe
we'll see.
Especially week 1. I think they'll adjust to it. If a lot of unders hit in week 1, they'll adjust it for week 2 and just lower the over unders. But yeah, we'll see.
Let's make our picks. I bet we got some in there.
All right. Dylan's ready. He's feisty. He's ready to make some picks.
Fired up, man.
Me too, man.
I'm ready talking about the picks.
That's all I want. Okay.
Rushing the process, but the rule, we're gonna figure the rule out. But I think we jump right in because I'm right on it. I'm with it. Early. So.
Yeah. So well, let's jump right in. We got some early games. We're gonna do mostly Saturday games. And we're kind of feeling out the process of how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna basically just pick a couple games that we feel comfortable picking, and then we'll probably look at the biggest game or the biggest 2 games of the week, talk about that, and give you picks there. We'll also probably always look at the UT game. That's Dylan's expertise. And we'll look at the Wisconsin game. That's my team that I follow.
Go.
We just feel that, those are the teams we watch the most. We should talk about them because we're the most educated on them, I guess. So,
and there's emotions that are tied to it. So take it with a grain of salt. But again,
very true.
It's not, I don't know, Dawson. Some people might say it's a bad thing to bet on your team. And in my opinion, if you bet, like you said earlier, we were talking off camera, but what you bet on, what you know the best, follow your intuition as far as if you know something well, you should be able to predict it. And that doesn't mean always picking the outcome you want.
Exactly.
that's different. Now, picking the outcome you want is the emotional side. If you pick the outcome that's going to be correct on the team that you follow, then I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm. That's why I even, especially with the Packers, I'll do the emotional hedge on the Packers. I'll pick them if they go up a little. I'll pick them to lose, so that I'm happy either way. They win, I'm happy. They lose, I make money. I'm happy. So
hey man, it's all about having a good time.
Exactly, it's all about being happy. So
Yeah,
let's all right. Let's start with the early game. UT. Let's jump right into it, man. UT. Virginia. It's being played in neutral site, but it's in Nashville, so it's much closer for UT.
yeah.
But yeah, UT's favored by 27.5. I mean, I don't think we really even the money line minus 4,500. We're not going to talk about something like that. Ridiculous money line.
No, I think the only thing you look at here, I mean, the spread and the points.
And then the over under is 56.5. Dylan, I'll let you take it away. You're the UT fan. What are your thoughts, spread wise, and then just UT wise?
Hey, I appreciate the honor of letting me talk first about the Vols and just letting everybody know in Knoxville what we do. So, yeah, man. You know, for years it's hard to bet on Tennessee as a Tennessee fan. But the past couple of years, they've been dominating in a lot of areas. Last year, just a fun one was the first quarter spread. You know, playing that total. I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet, but that was a really good one. But I'm not going to play that this week. I'm just going to stick to the game total. So, quick preview. Milton coming in off a huge, game in the Orange Bowl where they played Clemson, won handily against a good team. And then obviously we had some turnover at wide receiver, but I still think we're fully loaded. The offense is going to be incredible. They're playing in Nashville. I mean, they're going to put a show on, in my opinion. It's Tennessee in Tennessee. Virginia is not a scrub team. I don't think they're bottom of the barrel. But I mean, they're in the middle of the ACC versus the top of the SEC. Tennessee is the top of the SEC. They will compete with the top teams in the SEC. So I think it's going to be a fun one to come out, and they're just going to score a lot of points. I'm predicting them to cover the spread. I mean, I'm not going to pick against them, and I think it'll be close to about, I'd say about 30-point win. I could see a 42-10. 45-10, maybe. I mean, they could score 50. I mean, but again, the big determinant is going to be very early in the game. If you don't want to play it, wait till you see the first drive of Tennessee and see how Milton looks with his receivers. If he's locked in with his receiver early, you might want to just jump on it at that point. Try to catch it before it goes up. So anyway, I love Tennessee tomorrow, of course. And hey, it's the first game of the year, so we got to jump on it.
Okay, I like that, man. I think I agree with you. I think I would go with the point spread, the 27.5. That's a pretty friendly point spread. Usually when it's something like that, it's like 28.5 or 31.5. It's usually like that extra half point over the common score. But I don't know Virginia that well, but I think, like you said, they're mid ACC. They might even be like bottom of ACC. I'm looking at their win total. They're 3.5 win total for over under wins for this year. So they're definitely projected to be bad. So I could see, like you said, I could see Tennessee putting up 50. I think they're gonna wanna, I don't know if build confidence is the right word, but they're going to want to, like, even if they're up by 20 or 30, they're going to keep going because they want to kind of not show up.
Man, they want those wide receivers to get their legs stretched out, man. They want Joe Milton to get his arms stretched out. Like, they want the offense loose. So, and the only concern on the totals, and so I think they're going to win the game handily. I do think the game will be a sped up game. So getting to 50 will be harder this year than it was last year. So that's where I'm kind of at, like that 40 to 45 total on the first game of the year. Now against we'll see how Virginia comes out, if they come out fast or slow, or the defense as well. But is
Tennessee's defense is their kind of weak spot their secondary again this year, as opposed to
good question, man. I mean, I would assume that's probably the weakest spot. I honestly haven't looked too much at their defense as much. I'm expecting with the coaching change to be improvements. But again, I think it's just a matter of, they're going to have talent on defense, at a lot of positions, just for the recruiting and stuff. So, hopefully some development there.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because that's one of those things where it's like if they've got a bad run defense, that means maybe the game will there's a lot of runs in the game, it goes by quickly. But I think, like you said, I'll probably stay away from the over under. Oh, hold up, we'll take a quick pause here. My wife's calling me. We'll be right back. Okay. All right, so like I was saying, I think stay away from the over under because, like you said, we don't know if they're gonna put up 40 or 50 or whatever. But I think they cover. I think they're gonna win by 30 points. I don't think Virginia will score much at all. And I think Tennessee scores very easily and quickly and often. So I agree with you there. We'll take Tennessee.
Run it up, baby. It's time. It's time to run it up. First game of the year, man. I'm so excited. I'm and hey, I'm not gonna be disappointed if I lose that and they win by 20. Great. We're right there we want to be. But I don't think that's happening. I think they're running up tomorrow. And let's go. Go Vols.
Yeah. And you gotta, man. You gotta they say like running up the score doesn't matter type of stuff, but like
it matters.
It does, exactly, man. If you beat a team by 30 as opposed to 15, it looks better on your resume. So
no, and these guys are all trying to go to the NFL. I mean, we're talking about Milton is a Heisman contender. And whenever you're a Heisman contender, you are going to try to throw as many touchdowns as you can.
Stuff those stats, baby. Yeah.
Stat stuff. I mean, hey man, we got to play the game. This is what it is. The best offense in the country. I say that right now, best offense in the country. That's a prediction. But we will probably be a top 3 offense when the year is said and done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that we'll be a top 3 offense. Barring some really low scoring SEC games or something, but I still think, I just think we keep the ball rolling from last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've got to, unless like Melton just can't get it together somehow, but I don't see that happening. That'd be the only.
I think he's gonna be all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Next game, Colorado TCU. So this is one that you're betting. I'm not really gonna bet this, but I'll talk about it. I was just thinking, we should talk about this because people are interested in this. Deion Sanders.
It's an interesting game, yeah.
Exactly. Prime time is
Deion, prime time.
Are they gonna be good? Or are they gonna be terrible? I feel like people either think they're gonna be really good or they're gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Colorado.
I'll say this one right here. I'll say, in my opinion, bro, this one's less about Colorado. It's more about who TCU already is and will continue to be, I think. 20 point. All right. So I'll be quick on this one because we talked Tennessee a lot. Give me TCU minus 20.5. Colorado early in the year. Deion coming in, great storyline. He's brought some good transfers, but they got to gel. TCU's they made me a lot of money last year. And I was, I'm gonna ride that train again. I'm gonna jump on them early. So give me that minus 20.5 on TCU to start the game or start out early as well.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stay away from this game. I just don't. I want to wait and see what TCU's got for a couple of weeks. They lost so many people in the draft. I have no idea what they're going to be. Part of me is worried that ranking is just from what they did last year, and it's like maybe they're not as good as it says. But
I mean, that's valid, man. That's definitely valid. I think the program's good. I think they played a good conference. So I just don't think Colorado's going to be there yet. But yeah, definitely fun to watch. I'm excited for that game. I'm definitely watching that one.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. The Big Ten, Utah State, Iowa. We talked about this game off camera a little. We had our fun. So basically with Iowa's got like a top 5, top 3. They've got one of the best defenses in the country and a terrible offense. So with that, I'm taking the under. I don't even know. I think it's probably like 43, 44, 43.5.
Yeah, 43.5.
So yeah, I'm taking the under with Iowa. I see them probably winning like 24-0. They're playing Utah State. Maybe Utah State sneaks a touchdown in or something. Maybe a pick 6 or something. But
maybe. It's a fun one to watch.
Yeah, this is one of those that's not going to be fun. I will not be watching.
This is a fun scoreboard watch. I mean, if you put this up, I love watching Iowa in the corner. You just keep seeing 0 on the other team's score. You're like, there we go.
It is, every time. And so we talked about this. I think we joked about it earlier with how the Iowa even had their own players betting their unders and
yeah. So, I mean, it's an unders game over there. I mean,
it is, yeah.
It's just you gotta. I mean, hey, piece of candy. Start out with the easy low hanging fruit almost.
I'm surprised. I feel like at one point last year, one of their games, it was like in the 20s or the low 30s for over under. So
They get down to 37,
yeah,
30, like
yeah,
5. Like I think they did get down to the 20s. So
yeah.
they're being generous this week. I think
Yeah, take it while they're giving it to us. Yeah.
right. Take it early. Take it early.
Until they prove us wrong. Maybe they'll, they've got a new offense or they got a new offense going on. So maybe I don't remember who, but I feel like they got a new quarterback there. So
That would be disappointing if they scored like 40
yeah, that would
and
be weird. I wouldn't.
or 44 and
Yeah,
44-0 or something.
weird. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind.
It's like, oh, the new offense is clicking, but their
Yeah,
defense still shut them out.
that would. Yeah, that'd be scary. That'd be bad for Wisconsin.
Maybe maybe looking at the spread on that, dude, if you think about the new offense, I don't know what is the spread just for fun.
23.5.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, I
Yeah.
can kind of talk myself into that with the new offense. They're trying to show out against, because who is it?
Utah
They're playing?
State.
Yeah, Utah State. So,
Yeah.
I mean, little.
Yeah. I know. I think I'm going to stay away from the spread.
Yeah.
I could see them only scoring 20 points also, and not even scoring 23 points. So I think I'm going to just do the under here. So under 43.5 is going to be my official pick on this one. Man, I need a piece of paper to write. Here we go. Okay. So we got UT at minus 27.5, and then Iowa, I'm taking under 43.5 as my official pick. Dylan, are you officially picking?
I'm also on that one. Yeah, I mean, I'll ride with you on that. Yeah, that's definitely an official pick. I get the Iowa under 43.5. Just start with it. Yeah, no, I mean, not much to add there. I'm expecting a low scoring game out of Utah State. Maybe a fun little bonus pick, but I'm not making it official. It's just taking Iowa on the spread to them, just blowing them out and get the new offense going. So I'm going to sprinkle that one. That's a little half unit. I'm just going to play it because I'm just going to be watching that game anyway. So
yeah, okay. Okay.
You throw it on the list. Give me Iowa. Give me Iowa.
Okay. All right. Throw Iowa too to cover. All right. Next, we got what's staying in the Big Ten. We got Wisconsin and Buffalo. So this is my team, Wisconsin, the Badgers. Okay, so I'm gonna be logical about this. And instead of the emotional fan, I do think they will cover the spread. It's gone up. I think it started closer to like 24 or even like 21 or 22, but it's definitely gone up a little bit. It's 27.5. I think it's gone up because Wisconsin's gonna score points this year. Also, we've got a weird trend of like blowing out the Buffaloes like 38-7, and then playing. Like we play Washington State next week, and I think that's going to be like we'll play Washington State and maybe win 14-10 or even lose like 13-6. So I feel like that's going to be the game where we kind of. But these teams that are much more, not the Power Fives. Even if Washington State's not your average Power Five, but I feel like we're going to blow them out. That's just kind of first week of the season. Wisconsin's pretty good about that. Also, with the new offense coming in, new quarterback, new head coach, new coordinator, I think like we talked about with Tennessee, they're going to want to show off a little bit, let the quarterback spread it out, let him put up a bunch of points, feel good about himself, get his confidence right, and get the whole offense kind of rolling, and then just run the ball down their throat in the fourth quarter and put it away. So, and then of course Wisconsin's always got a really good defense. So this is another game it's kind of like Iowa. I could see them winning like 28-0 basically. But actually I kind of see, I think there's a reason that this total's up in the 50s. I think Wisconsin's going to put up 30, maybe 40 points because they've got this new air raid offense. They want to try to show it off. They want to put up some points. This is the team to, really get your preseason practice in against. So I'm taking Wisconsin minus 27.5.
Nice. I love it. I'm going to ride with it. You know what this show's all about is that you trust the experts in their area of expertise.
Right.
So if you're an expert in Wisconsin, I'll follow my boy Dawson over here on that. Not I'm making on my official picks, but I am going to be betting the slate. I'm going to be betting every game. So
All right.
eventually I'll be in there. I don't want to
All
put
right.
every pick up there, but we will come out ahead, boys.
That's right. Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, exactly. At a certain point, if you're betting, especially maybe parlay one or two of these together, or do a little, whatever you feel the more confident about. To keep it.
And I'm going to start early in the morning, and I'm going to watch College Game Day, and I'm saving my ammunition. I recommend everybody watch College Game Day, and you can just get the insight and start making some picks right there on the early games. If you get rolling early, it's going to be a good day.
Then you let it ride.
Don't, then you just stop and you just say you listen. You got to re-up next week. You have a budget.
Exactly.
Cautiously set a budget.
Mhm.
You run it up. Congratulations. If you lose early, maybe wait till next week. But or just put more money in. If you got it, and just keep it rolling. So
yeah, let it ride. Also, if you're using FanDuel,
not financial advice.
Yeah. Reckless, yeah, that's all right. Well, we give betting picks, not financial advice. So
Yeah, this is betting picks.
And now I think FanDuel is doing a no sweat bet, so like at least you get one chance to get your money back on FanDuel. So make sure you claim that reward or whatever it is, and I think it's like a $20 bet. So do that. Get back if you lose, and always take advantage of those deals. And take Wisconsin on the spread.
There you go.
All right. I feel like there's kind of a lull in the action in the middle of the day. If I weren't a Wisconsin fan, then I wouldn't include that game. So kind of between like the 2:30 to 5 range is not much. And then
well, hey, real quick, we got 30 seconds, so let's take a quick break, dude, and then we'll come back. Let's take and talk the LSU and the other games later on.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all. Good call. All right, y'all. We are back. Thanks for sticking around. We got a couple more games we're going to make some official picks on. So like I said, we're kind of moving on to the night games. We're talk about I guess then we'll move on to Sunday's game. But first we're going to talk Carolina. North Carolina, South Carolina, the Battle of the Carolinas. Fun stuff. This is a good game, actually. This is one of the more interesting games.
This is the best game on the slate tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah,
kind of competitiveness.
This might be the best Saturday game, seriously. Yeah. So North Carolina favored by 2.5. Money line, they're around -130, and Carolina's about +110. And then the over is 63.5. So they're definitely expecting a lot of points here. Drake May, obviously Heisman candidate, can definitely put up some points, put up some yards.
Spencer Rattler for Carolina is going to be a great quarterback. If he's in his zone.
So when I was listening to kind of some other guys talk about this, other experts, basically what I got was that Spencer Rattler can be hit or miss. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
But they don't have much. They said basically like he didn't think they're going to have much of an offense. They don't have like a run game. And North Carolina is going to be able to run on them. They think that South Carolina is going to have not a very good line. And North Carolina, if they want, are going to be able to run the ball. And it's basically like, is North Carolina going to be okay with running? Or are they going to want to let Drake May pass it a lot? So for me, the way I see this playing out, I think I see UNC taking it, what they're given and running the ball. I remember they still had a couple games with Drake May where their running backs would have over like 150 yards. So they can definitely still run the ball. They'll do what they got to do. And I think that leads to play action where he'll have some open guys running across the field. So all that to say, I like UNC here. I don't think I like UNC in general for like the year for the total. I think they're going to drop some games they shouldn't drop here and there, but I think they'll be pumped up for this. I think they're going to go in, they're going to win. And
Are you taking money line or the points? Are you going to take them straight?
I'm going to take the spread. 2.5 seems like a good.
Yeah.
Seems like a good. I mean, if maybe maybe I could look into it and look at what, just -2 is, or -1.5. I guess it's probably like -120 instead of 130. But I think I'm just going to take 2.5 here. Just take the spread. I think that's low enough for me to just be confident in that. I'm also maybe not official pick here, but just another pick to look at the game. I'm leaning toward the under. Like
Yeah.
we said with the new rules, if South Carolina is bad against the run and UNC runs it against them, that's gonna eat some clock. And then 63 is a lot of points. Now North Carolina could put up like 50 points and make me look stupid, but I think they're gonna run the ball more. The game goes by quicker. The first down, the clock not stopping after first downs, I think is gonna really move the game along. So I think I'm gonna lead toward the under there. But I'm also gonna take UNC, officially take UNC on the spread at 2.5.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I like the under. I like that too, man. I think you're on the money. I like UNC as well here. I'm not going to put that on my picks, but I like everything you said. Drake May's going to be a better quarterback than Spencer Rattler, but I also just think that but I really do like the under pick more. I think this is going to come down to the wire. I think it's going to be it could be a 1-point game. It could be a 2-point game, 2021. But I do like that under a lot more than picking either side. So of those two picks, I would lean towards that under. I actually played that myself, but this is going to be the best game, man. I mean, honestly, so South Carolina's kind of got some expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Big win versus Tennessee last year.
Mm-hmm.
And UNC doesn't have as high of expectations as in the ACC. Just being with, I don't know. I mean, they do have high. I mean, with Drake May,
I'd say they're probably going to finish like third in the ACC, but that's just that the ACC that doesn't look as good as third in the SEC.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't think that South Carolina, everybody's playing to win their conference right now, of course, but both these teams are coming out with a chip on their shoulder, kind of in the position to be playing for the middle of their conferences. But maybe if they have a breakout year and they beat some big teams, they can make a run, because they do have good quarterbacks and they do have good, pretty good programs. So, this will be a fun one to watch for sure, man.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think this is the best game of Saturday for sure.
For sure.
And yeah, we'll see if Drake May starts his Heisman candidacy out. Candidacy. Yeah.
Let's see how this political run goes for him.
His Heisman.
He's going on a political tour right now. Drake
yeah.
I mean, these guys. Oh my god.
We'll see. Whatever. Like I tried to say earlier, this is my sick game. My Michael Jordan flu game. I'm playing through it. So, but we're gonna get.
The players are playing through it tomorrow. This is what you got to do.
The players, they're playing. We got to play through it too. Everyone's got to give their all. Leave it all
100%, man.
Yeah. So I'm here for y'all. So we got one more, definitely the biggest game of the weekend. Last game.
Oh yeah.
The Sunday game.
This is a huge game, bro.
I know this will be great. A rematch from last year when Florida State edged out LSU. I think that was on the blocked extra point or a blocked field goal at the end there.
Something like that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was super. I remember I think I had LSU, even if I didn't. I remember being super surprised that Florida State was even close in that game, let alone beat them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida State showed they had a pretty good year last year. They dropped a couple games they shouldn't have. I mean, obviously they're coming in. They've got very high expectations this year in the first time, and it seems like in a long time since Jameis.
It's crazy to see how high they're ranked, 8th to come in. I mean, they had a good season last year, but that's high expectations. That's the national championship contention right there.
Yep. It's basically them and Clemson in the ACC who it's going to come down to. And with the ACC. Doing away with their divisions, they're probably going to play in the ACC championship now, so they'll play each other twice, and that gives them a good enough resume to make the playoffs. So
What are their odds to win they're the favorite to win the ACC,
It's really,
correct?
I think Clemson's plus 150 and Florida State's plus 170.
Okay, so Clemson is still the favorite
Yeah,
to win the
barely.
ACC.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And then I think it was like plus 300 to make the playoffs for Clemson and plus like 350 for Florida
Wow.
State.
So that tells you something that Vegas kind of thinks, just because you win the ACC doesn't necessarily. I don't know. Maybe. Well,
No,
I don't know. That's an interesting kind of line there.
I know, dude. That's why we were talking about. We did the ACC preview, EJ and I the other day, and that's what we were saying. Like, I was basically saying, I think it's worth just jumping on to make the playoffs because you get so much better odds. But like you said, Vegas doesn't think it's a sure thing. But to me, I think it will be. I think if Clemson wins the ACC, they're going to go to the playoffs because
Yeah,
they
kind of
have.
jumping around here, of course, but
I know we are, yeah. But they'll play at Florida State twice. They'll play, yeah. Like, yeah, we are jumping around. But Florida State, we're on
Florida
Florida
State.
State. I think I don't know. Like, I didn't watch a lot of Florida State last year, but I know they're good. I know they've got good quarterback. I think Jordan Travis. They've got like I remember looking at the ACC like preseason All American list or whatever. Florida State had like a running back, a receiver, a tight end on there. So they definitely have the skill players on offense to put up points. I know LSU, they've got their quarterback returning and Daniels. I know they're like best defensive lineman is suspended for this game, so that's going to be big.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, so technically, again, this is a neutral site, but it's in Florida. I think is it Orlando? I think it's somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, I think it's in Orlando.
Okay. So LSU's favored by 2.5. Money line minus 130 and a total 55.5. What are you leaning towards? The total over under, the money line, or the spread?
Man, in these type of games, and this is going to be completely just how I kind of always approach these top teams that play each other early in the season. I always lean to take the dog.
Yeah.
Just because I like those points. 2.5 points. When it's gonna be two contenders. I mean, I just think you get value on the team that has it. So and they're playing in Florida, which I don't know if that's a huge deal because it's neutral, but still, I think Florida State's going to travel better. And so them getting points is nice. I like that. So I think they have equal talent across the board in quarterback. So should be a close game. Like that's really what I'm betting on. And I won't be disappointed either way, but I think Florida State could win outright as well. And if you really want some more juice, that this would, this is jumpstart. I just think the expectation, like with these big games early, like, so Florida State's path is clearer. And this would be a must win for them to really position themselves to win the ACC and make a playoff run. As where LSU dropping this game, they have a chance to win some other big games on their schedule later to re-legitimize themselves into the playoff contention run, so that and coming out, it's a long season. I don't think LSU is going to be looking ahead by any means, but for Florida State, this is the game on their schedule outside of Clemson that if they just will not be considered, they won't have a chance to redeem themselves if they lose this one.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting him to come out. And I don't like to pick against the SEC because that's usually silly. But I'm gonna pick Florida State on this one. Just give me the points and I'm gonna ride with them. And man, it's gonna be a hell of a game though.
Yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be a great game. Man, I don't know. Just everything I've heard. I'm leaning. I'm leaning FSU also. Like you said, I mean, yeah, this is their game. They get Clemson. They go to Clemson, and then I would imagine they play Clemson again in the conference championship, which will be good. But yeah, this is obviously the highest ranked game. and it's not, I guess it's not a home game, but it's in Florida, so it's going to be a kind of a home game ish. I'm sure LSU will travel well, but
LSU's going to travel well too, man, for sure.
I'm guessing with the neutral site, they'll sell the tickets like 50-50, but I don't know. But either way, not really having to travel much, getting points is always tempting. Part of me even maybe wants to buy a point and go up to +3.
Yeah.
The odds get much worse. You get -160 there instead of.
Hey man, it's gonna be this is better's worst nightmare with these type of games, because it's like almost guaranteed to be a 3-point game. And um you know I don't know. Yeah.
That's why, yes, it might be worth buying that point to get +3.5 just to be safe.
Yeah, it could be.
But I think I'm gonna go with Florida State. I think what I'm gonna do is go Florida State on the money line. And then FanDuel is doing a little thing. They're giving away all these, like, they're doing all sorts of, every betting site I'm sure is giving away a bunch of promotions for the first week of football. So you got no sweat bets, you got these like 50% markups on parlays or whatever. So if I might pick, I think I'll pick Florida State to win a money line, and then on my own tomorrow morning, just having fun tinkering around. I think I might put Florida State +3.5 and buy that and put that in a fun little parlay and get that little 50% boost on it. So, all right. But yeah, Florida State money line. Did you say money line, or are you doing the spread?
I'll pick the spread. I pick 2.5. Just if we have to put a pick, this wouldn't be one of my like favorite picks, because I think it's going to be such a close game. But if we just have to pick this game, that's going to be where I would lean. Okay. So just with a grain of salt, and this is kind of how I feel about this game. And this is kind of going to sound crazy. But I would take that +2.5, and like almost as easily I would take LSU money line. Like I wouldn't want to take the points on LSU, but like, it's, I'm leaning between those two, but like it's hard to bet against the SEC, man. If you can get SEC money lines for a good value, too, because it looks like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I mean, we're gonna find our early knowledge. But I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this one if I'm wrong. This is not one of my favorite picks. I'm gonna do it because I want to pick a big game. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not putting much on this. Yeah.
Yeah. Just for our listeners and you to know that, like, I'm going to pick all these big games. The South Carolina one, I like that under, but it's not one of my favorite picks either. Because I think that both offenses could go off in prime time during that game. And even, but for the official picks earlier in the show, were definitely the ones that I would recommend to play with.
Yeah, I think our most confident picks are the Iowa under, and UT, and then for you maybe TCU.
I like TCU. Yeah, I'm liking that.
So okay, all right, man. You were saying earlier with the SEC, with LSU, and it's hard to pick against them. This weekend will be a good kind of measuring stick. Obviously Florida lost and looked terrible, but you've got LSU, Florida State, you've got UNC, South Carolina, you've got some top dogs against each other and kind of the middle of the pack against each other for ACC versus SEC. That always makes it for fun little rivalry, talking smack, good, podcast banter and such. So it's exciting.
Yeah, there's one game too that's kind of fun to look at. I'm trying to see which one it was. Oh, it was the USTA in Houston. That's a money line game, and I love picking those money lines. The games with really the low spreads, 1.5 points. Because it's fun. It makes it, it's going to be a competitive game. And one of the best bets that I saw on a guy that I follow was take UT San Antonio over Houston on the money line -120. So I'm playing that one tomorrow as well. A little bonus pick for kind of a more lesser known game. But I'll put it out there. Got to get it rolling.
Wow. Yeah. So UT San Antonio is favored over Houston. That's surprising.
Yeah, and I think they should be favored by more. Houston obviously got name brand recognition, but USTA favored, And UT, they have a good quarterback. I did some research earlier on him, and he's thrown for a ton of yards, ton of touchdowns.
Was this one of the teams that was like undefeated for a while last year?
Okay. Yeah, they're fun to watch. Yeah.
Okay. So it was them and like Toledo and someone else, I want to say. Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember who. I can't remember exactly, but they were good last year.
Okay.
And
I do remember that now. Yeah, I do remember that. Okay. Well, all right. I like that.
Little bonus pick to hit it off on a good note, hopefully.
Houston enters the Big 12 this year. That'd be funny. Entering the Big 12 with a loss to a non-Power 5 school.
Well, let's go.
Oh, I know. The Pac-12 is falling apart. Next will be the Big 12.
All these conferences are in shambles, man. It's like,
it's gonna turn into like
what is going on?
It's gonna turn into the SEC versus the Big 10, but then that's just gonna turn into like North versus South or East and West, and it's just gonna
have a civil war again over here. North versus South.
Yeah, North and South. Yeah, it's gonna be like, it's
calm down.
Yeah, everyone does.
We're seceding from the SEC.
I think it's going to just turn into like the NFL with 2 conferences and then divisions inside the conferences. Basically, it's going to.
Yeah.
So we'll see though. Not this year.
No. And one last game. Since we probably won't talk again. I think a fun one throw in there too for our listeners is Clemson minus 12.5. That's a Monday night game. I don't think I'll talk to you before then. But I would lean towards Clemson on that one as well.
Okay.
I think that they should be able to handle Duke pretty well. So, let's get them out there. Let's get some picks for the people, and have some fun. Clemson's they're a powerhouse, and I think it's a little low spread. I know ACC rivalry, but Duke, come on, they're gonna beat them. They're gonna beat them bad.
Go too. All right, yeah, man, I like that. Okay, I hope they do. That'll make my Clemson pick look better. So.
Yeah, there you go. Get you started on the right foot.
Yeah, exactly. All right. All right, y'all. Well, okay, we're gonna wrap it up for now. We will see y'all. We're gonna meet again Monday and kind of review our picks, review the weekend, talk about how we did. And we'll either get that out Monday night or Tuesday morning. So we'll see y'all again then. Otherwise, have a great weekend. This is gonna be fun. We're back. Football's back, baby. Listen to what we said as always. See if you agree. Place those bets. Bet responsibly. Hedge those picks. If you got a nice parlay and you got that last team you're waiting on, maybe hedge that, baby.
Don't be afraid to hedge it, guys.
Don't be afraid. It's a smart move. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. Let's go. We'll see y'all on Monday or Tuesday.
Let's get it, bro. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.
See you, Bo.